But I would
Right.
say this, Adam. I would say this, Chico, that much like when the wide receiver room last year, due to the NFL, was depleted in numbers, you can go out and via the portal and via even high school recruiting. Because one thing that Coach Prime has always articulated, and even in the names that the fans are hearing about now, and there's more to come, it's not like the staff has been caught off guard by these. These conversations have been taking place. So when you see a portal announcement and you're a Joe fan and you see it, believe me, the organization knew about it before you saw it. And
Right.
so we're already in works to address those deficiencies that were coming. And what you really have to look at is look at the numbers, the production that you're losing, and where can you go identify that? And the truth is, there's enough talent left in this wide receiver room. There's going to be enough talent in the portal that you can replace what you're losing. Same thing with losing Taufik. Don't get me wrong, hell of a player, great addition to the team, led the team in tackles, all that. More better than that was his leadership. I think we should probably go look at the total number of people in the portal. And if you think that that same thing ain't there, and someone looking for an opportunity and don't have to have the bag that a seasoned guy has to have, it's almost like a reset every year, like NFL does with free agency. Man, it's like, okay, here's the budget, here's what we're losing. What can we go get? And sometimes you may have to get two guys to replace one guy from a production standpoint. But if those two guys cost you less than one guy, mission accomplished.
It's going to be
Indeed.
moving fast come January 2nd when the portal opens, because the spring semester starts at Colorado on the 8th. That's another nitpick that I have with the NCAA with this calendar, is that you have no chance to vet these guys. It is like their name goes in the portal. You got to be right there, right then. And it just, there's got to be a better way. The lack of leadership in college football has been abysmal for a very long time. And I just think that those of us that cover the sport, those of us that are watching and love the sport, the players that are in the sport deserve a better direction going forward than what we have currently.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, the calendar has to be adjusted for a lot of reasons, Adam. The ones you just articulated, coaches being able to change jobs. This thing, Chico and I were talking the other night. We're going to look up and we're either going to be playing college football in July or playing college football in March. Like, something has to get bumped or expanded to make room for a true process, where it's either coaches leaving or you have better and more time to vet players coming in, et cetera, et cetera. But the narrow windows that exist now, somebody's going to get pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, I saw a question in the chat that said, "How do you develop players nowadays with the transfer portal and NIL? How can you do that? How do you develop players? What's y'all answer to that?"
You coach to win. Like, you can't coach a kid and think that, well, let me not teach him everything I know, he might leave. Like, you go to war with what you got and you prepare your soldiers for battle. No one was holding back on the development of Omari Miller because he might leave. You're trying to get the best out of him while you got him, and then if that happens, so be it. And I don't care what position it is. You're not going to see a coach at any program. Again, this is bigger than the Colorado conversation, saying, well, we're not going to truly give all our guys every opportunity that they deserve or can get, and we're going to hold back on winning because they might leave us in a couple of years. Like, you can't think that way. You got to go out there and coach and develop and get guys ready to win. And when at the end of the season comes and they choose to move on, that's their choice.
Any way to put any of this toothpaste back in that too, because it just feels like it's trending in a wrong direction. I don't know how we get this back on solid footing for college football fans going forward.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, some kind of change is coming out. Like, I don't know what it'll be or when it'll be. It could be a couple of years down the road, but the layout of the calendar and the rules of the calendar are going to have to become more and more realistic, because the process as it stands is not fair to either party. Like, we got to be honest that conversations need to be allowed within a certain window instead of saying, hey, there's no tampering taking place, when clearly there's tampering taking place. We got to be more realistic of when coaches can announce they're going to pursue another job, or universities can pursue a coach. Because just because you're talking to the agent doesn't mean the agent ain't talking to that coach. Like, let's be realistic, you know. And so there's a lot of issues that have come from this, but the main one is one I'm gonna remain in support of, is that players have the right to transfer, and players should be getting paid by the universities that make money off them.
Mhm.
Now let's solve the problems that come from that.
Adam, give me some good news as far as what's going on in the portal and I'm sorry, recruiting, and any like holes in our roster and the CU Buffs roster that needs to be filled now with all of these guys that's now leaving.
Yeah, I think linebackers got to be your number one priority from the transfer portal window coming up here. You did, on the positive side to the initial part of your question there, Chico, is that I really enjoy the I really think the linebackers that they signed in December are going to be really good football players, especially Crawford coming out of Texas. He's going to be playing for a state championship out there in Texas this weekend. But you can't bank on true freshmen to come in at that position. That is a very difficult position to transition to. Colorado has been lucky to have some guys like Jordan Dizon, Addison Gillum, in the past, Nate Landman, that's now doing big things with the Rams out there in Los Angeles, that have made an early impression, during their college career. But you gotta attack that position. And so that would be kind of my main priority for them in terms of the transfer portal. You got needs across the board aside from punter, but there are some positions that have some real wild card guys. Like you look at like a receiver, like, can Hakeem Williams get healthy and really have it all come together? You can go down the list. There's a lot of guys on this roster. It's not the sky's falling because Tawfiq Bayard and Brandon Davis-Swain are transferring. But, there's obviously going to have to be replacements coming in here early next month, and we'll see how that pans out. There has not been a transfer window under Coach Prime that there has not been some skies falling moments, and then
Every time.
more times than not, they come out better on the other side. So we'll see how this works out.